Oya, kamusta? Joe here, an OC artist, and this is a series where I talk about my original characters, my thought process in creating them, what I like about them, and how I would improve upon them in the future. I hope this gives you inspiration on creating your original characters. So today's character would be Paula, the Litch Queen of Death. This is quite an aged character. Not really that old in my line of OCs, but old enough to have gone through several reworking and had a few extra layers on her. I first produced her back in my DeviantArt account under the Lich Monarchs lineup, giving her the post number 024. This character in a nutshell is a Lich, an undead figure that can spawn other lesser undead. What makes her unique is her ability to collect all the souls of her victims and spawn them anywhere, since she can provide them bodies from inorganic or organic materials. Now let's go to the concept behind this character. Paula was created due to the need of the Lich Royals, which I formerly called them, in the story that they are in. In that story, a lesser god initiated the spontaneous creation of different races in an event later known as Genesis. The cause of said event was the spread of the material known as the anti-life, which was like a toxic radiation from an explosion. To collect said anti-life, the Lich Monarchs were created. In the design of these characters, I decided to make 4 of them, for each direction, north, south, east, and west, and base them from the biblical horsemen of Apocalypse, with Paula being the Litch Queen of Death. In the design of this character, I based it on a work of an old friend who did makeup art. In that picture, she had a spider eye patch that I really loved the concept, which became the main focus of her character design. After that key concept, the supporting design was simple. Add a crown, because she's a monarch of course, a winter jacket that she half wears, probably connecting to her more eccentric personality. Going further on her more volatile personality, I included a severed head with her. At first, this was one of my edgy design choices, but this head was later expanded as an angel head named Pia. The head is kept alive with anti-magic as a form of punishment for insulting Paula at one point of her life. The idea was probably from that time in my life when I broke a chime, leaving an angel's severed head dangling from the door. I think I still have that head. Lastly, since this fantasy, I gave her and the other liches a device known as an obtainer, an extension of their body that can attract and store anti-life. Paula's obtainer is currently in the form of a gauntlet. This was originally a sight that broke and she replaced it to its current form. The changing of weapon also occurred to the rest of the Lich Monarchs. Now going to what I love about this character, it is mainly how relevant she is in my several stories. I'm currently cooking up a quite ambitious universe filled with different storylines, and Paula by accident became a key member in a few of them. I also love her as a character because I found several opportunities to develop her. From basically a toxic janitor, she became a fugitive for joining a dangerous organization, then started selling anti-life as some fountain of youth, like some snake oil saleswoman, then got to prison for being a terrorist to a specific race. She was also exiled to a random world and did contribute to that storyline. And from one of her short stories, I kind of figured out that she probably lost a child at one point. Of course, in her character design, I also love her eye patch and its symbolism to the idea of loss. I also love her personality, how she has a motherly side, but as well as a more crazy side, and probably caused by the loss of her child. She is of course still a work in progress. I have to admit she is one of my more established characters, but since she plays an integral part on different stories, I would want to work on her character development. Since her character development is a bit stagnant for the amount of stories she is in. I also feel like her character design also needs reworking since it's mostly carried by the spider eye patch, or at the very least have different designs for each part of her life. Lastly, I do want to dig deeper on the idea that she was once a mother that lost her child, since that idea was quite new and may not be fully in line with the first established personality I had for her. So, I guess my point in all this is that character development is quite a long process, and it's quite hard to be finished with a character since you can always build on top of them. Well, this has been my presentation on one of my favorite OCs, Paula. I'm not sure when I'll be able to share her development again, but it might be through a short story about her in the far future. So see you then. If any of you are interested in learning more about Paula, I actually posted her twice. First one is in my old DeviantArt account under my old pen name, and one on my current active IG account. Shameless plug, also please follow me. The one in my DeviantArt account talks about the design process of Paula as I drew her at that time, as well as the logs of other Lich Royals. The one on IG is an expansion on her story, having a proper character bio, info sheet, and explaining a few of her abilities. And she's drawn in casual clothing there as if she's a normal human being. You can also ask me directly down on the comments below. Well, that's all for today. I plan on doing tutorials on creating original characters specifically, so if you're into this or that, do consider to subscribe or share to other people who might get value or entertainment from this. This has been Joe Bayani, hoping all of you to get your characters created. Good day, bye-bye.